Welcome to the Virginia Carolina Deer Tracts podcast. I'm Mike Davis, and I am here to talk about everything hunting, hunting land, and the great outdoors in both Virginia and North Carolina. Thanks for tuning in. All right, everybody, welcome back to the latest and greatest edition of the Virginia Carolina Deer Tracts podcast. And today we have a very special guest. We are here with Frank Smith, the show manager of the Virginia Outdoor Sportsman Show. How you doing, Frank?
I'm good. Special. I feel a little privileged with that term, but I appreciate you bringing me on here.
No, we appreciate you coming on. For those of you who don't know, but I think most of us here in Virginia do know, the Virginia Outdoor Sportsman Show, it's been going on for like 40 some years. What is it, 42 now?
Yeah, this year is 42, yeah?
Yeah, so it's held in Richmond every year and in August, and it's an event that I know we certainly look forward to. We've been participating, having a booth there for the last several years, and we always have a good time, and we mark it on the calendar every year and look forward to it. So man, I know the biggest news of the whole event, at least it seems at this point, is the change in venue location, which I think I called it earlier. It's the old new location. So why don't you tell us the story behind that, Frank?
Yeah, well, thanks. Well, yes, the show it's been at the Richmond Raceway for years. About 4 years ago, there were some issues with some contracts and maybe some air conditioning going on. We weren't able to solidify a satisfactory contract a couple years ago, so we were forced to move it to Doswell, where it was for the past 3 years, which was a great location as well. One of the only issues with Doswell is just we outgrew it in year two, which is a good thing. It means we have a good show and people want to come and people want to participate. We just ran out of the footage, and we want to move it back to where it started. Like the Richmond Raceway Complex is a great venue. It's 4 buildings versus 1. It allows myself and my owner, Ned Elliott, to bring you a way better product. More vendors, more events, more things for people to do as they come to the Raceway Complex in August.
Yeah, just a few people that I've talked to so far seem very, very excited about the move back to the complex there. So we're looking forward to it. Can't wait to see how big this thing continues to grow.
Yeah, we're excited as well. A little nervous, but excited. Yeah, we're gonna have a ton of vendors trying to bring a bunch of new things as well to this event.
Yeah.
August 1st, 2nd, 3rd. Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at the floor plan map on the website, and I was like, man, my God, how in the world are you going to get that many vendors to attend? I mean, this is, I know a lot of people have no idea what it takes to put a show like this together, but I'm pretty sure this is an all year round type gig, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. People like when they ask me what I do, they laugh, and I'm like, this is all year. I mean, to have this many vendors and you have a lot of contacts to make. It's an average 3 to 5 contacts per person just for a phone call, not counting emails. So things can get kind of crazy and everywhere. So it does take me all year. Now sometimes the year is a little slower than others, but I work all year round just for this event. Obviously we want to make it the best product possible. So some days I can be a little choosy with some things, but there's a lot of work involved, a lot of communication involved on my side. Talking to vendors, vetting them, making sure they're the right fit. I always say I sell relationships. I don't sell, I joke that I sell 10 by 10 squares for a living, but I sell relationships. My whole goal is to have that vendor come back year after year, be satisfied with what happens and make their experience there the best they can. Because without them, we really don't have anything. You need those vendors.
Yeah. Well,
So,
selling relationships sounds a lot like what we do in real estate. I mean, it's a very real
oh
thing.
yeah, yeah.
And so I 100% understand where you're coming from on that one. So let's dive into the meat and potatoes of the event itself just a little bit to get folks excited. Let's talk about some of the things that you both know for sure that are going to be at this year's event, and maybe some of the things that are in the works that you feel confident enough to at least mention at this point.
Well, first and foremost, our headliner this year is going to be Kenneth Lancaster from the Give and Right. We've had Kip Campbell, who's been great. And we'd love to have all of them back. Just time to freshen things up. So if you visit our website at sportsmanshow.com, you'll see all the whole lineup right now. But yeah, Kenneth Lancaster is going to be our new headliner. He'll be there all weekend. He'll be doing 3 seminars. Chef Albert still with the deer butchering. That's one of our most well-attended seminars. Eddie Salter, Turkey Man, Turkey Guru, a legend in his field. Tim Andrews from Team Realtree, another great one to have. I like Tim a lot because Tim is what I say, and this is going to sound bad. He's more relatable, I think, to everybody. He's just your average guy that, who's got a couple breaks in the industry, and he'll tell you that. But he grinds away. He's a hunter. He's like us. He's more relatable. I mean, God bless the Lee and Tiffany's and the Drurys of the world, but to me, I'm easier to relate to somebody like Tim more than them, just because the way we hunt and the access I have or we have. And Kenneth is the same way. Southern boy, good old boy, um, true, true gentleman. So we got him, Chef Al. I also, to piggyback with Chef Albert, I have Hunt Chef coming in. They're a Pennsylvania seasoning company. They are blowing up on the scene as far as wild game. They have a full line of seasonings, no matter what you want: rubs, barbecues, spices. They're second to none when it comes to that. So they'll be there as well. Byron Ferguson, who will be there as well, doing some archery trick shooting. He's a legendary. He's in the Hall of Fame right now, the Archery Hall of Fame. Of course, Bobby Uhrig, the founder of Mega Strike, he's going to be there as well on the hog tank, doing demonstrations along with Tyler Clark and Jim Neary. So we'll have 3 or 4 seminars a day on their hog trough. Basically, it's a big aquarium with bass in it and some other fish. And they teach you methods on how to fish certain lures and depths in water. They're a great wealth of information. Also, I have Ramrod there for some waterfowl and bow fishing. And then we're bringing back the Dock Dogs. That is a very popular event. It grew from one year to the next exponentially. To see these animals do these, it doesn't have to be a hunting dog, but to see these animals do this is amazing. And they'll be there all weekend. And they'll have 3 or 4 shows a day, contest. I'm sorry. Also, we're bringing back the VPSA Big Game Contest. That is a huge win for us. Mike Jones and his crew do a great job. And the deer heads they bring, you would think you're in the Midwest. It's insane. I
It
did
really
shows
is.
in Wisconsin. Yeah, the deer heads. I mean, I think 300 or 400 deer heads they had last year, but the heads are just phenomenal. Like I said, I did a show in Wisconsin, and we had the same amount of deer heads. If you would teleport me, I would think that I was in Wisconsin with the size of those animals. Virginia's, I think, a sleeper state.
Well, we couldn't agree more. I mean, that's one of the things that I've always talked about on this podcast since day one. That's what we're trying to promote is, I mean, like you said, God bless the Midwest. What they got going on is phenomenal. We don't want to take anything away from them, but Virginia, North Carolina, this area of the country, we got some pretty cool stuff going on too. And I really enjoy seeing the deer heads up there because it really showcases that. It's like, man, that's from Virginia, and you can see what county it's from, and it's just like, man, that's pretty cool.
I love the fact that it's from kids to older gentlemen to females. Such a diverse group that VPSA does a great job, Mike Jones and them, breaking down these categories that it gets everybody involved. It's just, you know what I mean? Like, it's just not everybody, I hate to say this, it's just not the same guy at camp shooting a big buck every year. I mean, there's kids from 12, 13 years old, there's people 70 years old, there's females as well. Last year, one of the most popular bucks was a female. I forget the lady's name, and I apologize, but her deer head, it's where the beams came out and dropped down like 10 inches. Like double drops in front, but it was a phenomenal deer. She brought that in. That was a showstopper. So I like the fact that the contest brings a wide demographic to our show, men, women, and children of all ages. That's what I love about that contest.
Yeah, the biggest challenge I've seen at the show in the past few years is I can't see it all. I can't see all the seminars and all the
Yeah.
displays and I mean and we got to work while we're there too, but man, there's a lot of stuff going on. I'm really happy to hear that Tim Andrus is coming back because I think everything you said about him is spot on. We actually interviewed him for the same podcast like 2 years ago up there at the show while he was there and have remained in contact since, and message each other and every now and then just to say, hey, what's up? How you doing? And he is, like you said, he is one of the most relatable individuals you could ever meet. So I messaged him last night because I saw it on the website and I was like, hey man, you gonna be at the Virginia Outdoor Show again? He's like, yes, sir. So that's pretty cool. I'll look forward to seeing him again.
Yeah, he's a great guy. Him and his sidekick Karen, I don't know if she would want me to mention her. They're a great couple. God love her. He drags her across the country doing all this stuff since he's retired. But yeah, just if you haven't talked to him, to sit down and talk to him, it's just a genuine great guy.
Yeah.
So if people see him walking around the show, please feel free. He's approachable. He'll talk to you. He's just he doesn't mind sharing information. Like he's one of those guys. So that's what's one of the things that we love to have in him at our event as well.
Awesome. Awesome. So been following you on the Facebook and I really like one of the things that you do where you sign up new vendors for the show or returning vendors and you take a moment to announce it and promote them a little bit. And man, you've got a just like a full spectrum so far of vendors. Obviously you got the hunting stuff, but I mean there's fishing guys, there's uh food seasoning stuff like you mentioned before. There's all kinds of stuff there. Um, Man, how how
Yeah,
how how many people are still coming in and signing up for this thing?
well, when it's all said and done, we'll probably double the amount of vendors we had last year, and that's because we had the space. This year. I was fortunate. I did sell the show out the past 3 years, which is a good and bad thing. So I did have a little bit of a waiting list of people wanting to come in. So now this new venue in Richmond allows that. So it allowed me also to really diversify the show. So as we know, the demographic, the older gentlemen, I mean, we're kind of dying off, but we had almost a 30% female demographic last year as attendees. So we need to cater to that. So I'm trying to bring in women's camo clothing or diversify the clothing line. I bring in some seasoning for the girls and the guys to be able to cook, to prepare their big game after they harvest it. I also have some jewelry coming, a couple different jewelry vendors that it's made out of whatever, antlers and bullets and stuff. But I also have artists coming. So if you can't afford to get, or you don't want to taxidermy, I have people being able to duplicate, stuff like that as well, like some digital taxidermy things as well. I'm all over the board. We're trying to, when I grew the fishing, people like us, just a deer show. No, we put a lot of effort. We have several custom rod builder, well, not custom rod, but we have several fishing vendors, from custom rods to lures, to apparel and swag. Like we're all over. Like we hit every category we try to hit in the outdoor industry, to cover all your bases. I even have a company coming in, and it's not real often, but I have a company coming in that helps if you have a cabin, and they're going to help. I think it's Fletcher Homes. They're going to come in and help you if you need any upgrades to your cabin. We have stuff like that as well,
Neat.
to help people. Yeah.
Well, one of the things that we mentioned a little bit before we pressed the record button, but I was super excited to hear about, and I hope it's okay to bring it up, but it sounds like you're working on the possibility of a 3D archery component to the show.
Yeah, I am. And if if it all comes through, it's going to be phenomenal. There's a lot of moving parts to having a 3D shoot. So it's been a little bit of a roller coaster, and I appreciate you bringing that up because I think it will help, you know, create a little bit of a buzz. I think I can't make any promises, but that's the effort we're doing right now. is to potentially have in the Henrico building is to have a 3D event and an NASP shoot. So it could be a kids youth NASP plus a 3D, but somehow we're going to try to get archery in there as a permanent fixture where people can come and shoot their bows, whether it's a 3D target or a static target like a paper target. But yes, that's my direction. I would like to move to create another event at the Richmond Outdoor Show on the Richmond Raceway.
Man,
Yeah,
I,
so
I
thanks for
can't.
bringing it up. I do appreciate that.
Yeah, I can't even begin to tell you how excited I am to see what happens with that. That would be very cool. That high on the bucket list for me. So I know that the show's been around for 42 years. You've been at this, you've been at the helm of it for what, the last four? Am I getting that right? 3 or 4 years?
Correct. Yeah, the last four I've been, yeah.
But this isn't your first rodeo, so to speak, with this line of work. You were doing the big show before this, right? Up in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I worked for the NRA in Harrisburg. I was one of the salesmen and helped run the Great American Outdoor Show in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I did that for almost 6 years. Then I went to another company, an event company, and we ran the open season expos that were across the Midwest. And then I got caught here. I got found out, and when Annette bought the Virginia Outdoor Show after her first second year, my name came up, and then we connected, and now she hired me, and now I'm been her show manager for the last 4 years, which I love it. I've been doing this for 15 years now, and I love it. They say you don't work if you love what you do, and
That's right.
I'm fortunate to be in that position as well.
So over the 15 years, how have you seen things change in the show industry, I guess?
Oh, that's a great question. The biggest thing is COVID really changed how people buy stuff. But the one good thing we have in our industry, in the show industry, is most of our demographic still likes to come out and feel it and touch it before they buy it. And once they do that, you know what I mean, then it's like they might go online and buy. But since we're such a hands-on event, you do have to have stuff to keep now with more families than ever, which we love, because you need families, you need younger hunters and sportsmen and sportswomen to come out to keep this machine going. And that's what I was excited about when I came on board with this show. I've never seen so many families in my life per capita than the Virginia Outdoor Show. Kids in strollers and families and wives. It was phenomenal. That's why we segue into this. We have a brand new area called the Future Sportsman Zone, where it's kids 12 and under can come in, and we have hoverball, we have magnetic fishing, we have deer pong, we have all kind of events. It's gonna be a place where parents can come and bring their children if they need a little break. Now the parents must remain with their kids, but they can come in, and if the kids get bored, they can come in and play a bunch of outdoor related theme games. Plus, we partnered with the NRA and Eddie the Eagle, and with the Luck Group as well. I want to give them a shout out. They're a nonprofit. They're going to help with. They're going to be at the show as well in the same building. But the Luck Group has helped sponsor this, and we're going to have a great area for kids 12 and under to come in. Even if you're older, we're fine. But like I said, we're going to have hoverball archery. We're going to have cornhole. We're going to have deer pong. We're going to have some shooting games, magnetic fishing, all kind of cool things. A duck pond where little kids can pick a prize or pick up a duck and get a prize. Just a place for some kids to take a break if, dad wants to walk around and talk to an outfitter. We have some African outfitters, Midwest outfitters there as well, charter boat captains. So we're going to have some things there. Maybe dad might need a break a little bit, or mom if she wants to go. But like I said, we're going to have that zone. It's free to everybody to come in and kind of decompress a little bit and take a break from the event if they need to. Plus the Edge of the Eagle, the gun safety program, which we think is important as well, to teach the families. And remember, all kids 12 and under for our show are free, for free admission into the kids zone and free into the show.
That's right. And while you brought that up, um, again, you mentioned the dates are August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So basically the first weekend in August, and 12 and under free. And I hope I'm getting this right. So the daily entry fee is $12, but you can get a three
Yes.
day pass for $20. Is that right?
Yeah, that's your best value. Yeah, it's $12 per day. And then we do have the 3-day pass for $20.
And then if someone enters a buck into the or I guess any animal into the scoring contest, I think I read this on the website, the $20 entry fee also gets them the 3-day pass. Is that right?
Yeah, the person who enters the buck gets that's their ticket as well.
Man, you
And we
can't beat
also
that.
do that. Yeah, we also do that with the dock dogs. So the entrance of the dock dogs person is comes in for free, but obviously if they have family, they gotta pay to have a ticket. And then we do that for the NRA. If you join the NRA, you get a free ticket into the show as well. So there's three ways to help, would benefit you, to kind of double dip, I guess I want to say.
Hey, that's a
But
good deal though. It's a no-brainer. It really is.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
So that's
And we
that's
wouldn't be able to do it without partnerships with companies letting us do that and help us out as well.
yeah.
Um, the hours are we changed them last year. So Friday's kind of the soft opening. We go Friday 12 to 6. Saturday's 9 to 6, and then Sunday is 10 to 5
Okay.
for our show hours.
And just to follow up, people that are listening, maybe you're driving, maybe you're in the middle of something, but there is a website that you can go to that will have all this information. And give them that website one more time, Frank.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, the official website for the show, and the only way to get the correct information is to go to sportsmanshow.com. That's sportsmanshow.com, all one word. That's the only place you're going to get the correct info. There are a couple kind of rogue websites out there that are saying it's still at Meadow Event. But yeah, sportsmanshow.com, and that's going to be your best information or best way to get your information for the show. And I think my number might be on there if anybody has any deeper questions about being an exhibitor or about the deer contest. Mike Jones's info is on there for the deer contest. But yeah, that's going to be your best bet to get your most accurate information is the official sportsmanshow.com website for the Virginia Outdoor Sports Show.
And we will I'll include a link to that as well on all of our social media and YouTube and stuff when we release this. So then anybody that's on our page can just click the link and go right to it and check everything out. So hopefully that will help out there. Um, Man, we've talked about the scoring contest. I know you're on social media as well. I know you got a Facebook page at least, so people can find you
Yes.
there. You stay pretty active on there, like I mentioned earlier, promoting all the vendors and stuff like that as they get signed up. Is there any other social media pages that you're on?
No, that's tough because we're such a small company doing a lot of big things. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you're familiar with that. So right now it's Facebook. I'm trying to get Instagram and TikTok. But right now, it's basically Facebook and our website is the best way to get information. Facebook is a great tool just because one, it's free, and two, you can tag and collaborate with a lot of people. Like
Yeah.
you said, we go out there and give a shout out to new exhibitors. The one girl in the office named Hannah, she does a great job, is working on social media. Where last year it was just past couple years, it's just been me. It's been insane. But Hannah and Annette do a great job trying to market this beast. But yeah, we that's going to be our best bet is our Facebook page. It's just Virginia Outdoor Show or Sportsman Show, and then our website sportsmanshow.com.
Okay, outstanding. So, um, gosh, I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I don't know if I am or not. What else you got, Frank? Anything you want to talk about that we've missed?
Well, it is free parking. The entrance of the we have four buildings. I don't know if I mentioned that. So the main entrance of the building is going to be the smaller building, building one. That's going to be your way in and way out. And in every building, we have something to do. Um, First Hunt Foundation is going to have like an airsoft BB gun range for kids, and they do a lot of great raffles to help raise money to keep kids and get into the outdoors. We're going to have the Family Sportsman Zone. We're going to have hopefully a 3D shoot, and then we're going to have the VPSA in another building with the big deer contest, or I'm sorry, big game contest. I get deer in my head, but it's for bears and turkeys as well. And then in the larger room in building four is going to be the kids' trout pond, is going to be the hog trough, and is going to be the seminar stage for Byron Ferguson's trick shooting and the cooking seminar stage for Chef Al and Hunt Chef. So each building is going to have something. And like you said earlier, I try not to, it's tough. It's just a short time. So every hour I have a seminar. And every day I try to repeat that seminar. So if you can't come Friday, come Saturday and vice versa to Sunday. But for something on there, just look at our schedule. It's going to be up soon because there's still some things I'm tweaking on. Because I'm going to have a young lady coming in. She's going to yell at me for saying young lady. She's a great lady from the Virginia Shooting Sports. She's going to come in. Her name's Kate. And she's going to have a booth there. And she's a lot of upland birds. And she's going to promote that part. Plus another teaser. I'm going to throw this out there right now. It's official about 90% is we're going to have EarthQuest there. They have a huge booth and they're going to be falconry and birds of prey,
Oh, wow.
which I am super excited. If you've never seen a bird of prey up close, this is your opportunity. It's a phenomenal club. It's a phenomenal organization. And if it wasn't for this young lady from the Virginia Shooting Sports helping me out, we connected on Facebook of all things, and people think I'm screwing around when I'm on Facebook. But like I work all the time. Like it'll be 10 o'clock at night, and people, like you might come up as somebody I may know, and then I'll message them, But it's a great connection through Facebook that we got this, and thanks to her, that we're gonna have birds of prey. I think it's Elizabeth and her husband. I forget. It just happened. But I'm super excited. They have a huge booth. They're going to have 5, 6, or 7 different birds there. They're going to have owls, falcons. It's going to be phenomenal. And I'm hoping next year maybe we can have some outside demos with those birds,
Oh, yeah.
to do the falconry.
Yeah.
But to see a bird of prey up close is very cool. So that's another dynamic we're adding to the show as well. So I'm trying to add as much diversity to this event to interest as many people as possible. Because you don't have to be necessarily your typical hunter to be interested in falconry.
Right.
And I think that's a good untapped market as far as that goes. And I want to get kids and females. Um, I just know when I started shooting, when I met my wife and I got her into archery, she was actually a better bow shot than I was. And the worst thing for me was being her instructor. So we had somebody else help her out. But she was a phenomenal shot. Then we had kids and she kind of phased away. Now that our kids are older, I'm going to try to get her back into it.
Awesome.
But women are great sportsmen as well. Like they're just as been out there getting it done as we're getting it done. And kids are the future. I know a lot of states have declining populations. I live in Pennsylvania. One of my good friends, is Matt Brett with the PA Game Commission. He's the marketing guy, and we're trying to get it back. But we went when I was a kid, 1,200,000 hunters to like 650,000 registered hunters.
Wow.
And and I know that's your foundation for moving forward. And people are finding a lot of different ways to do things with technology, with trail cameras and all this other stuff. But basically, it's hunting, and we want to try to get that sport to keep on going to perpetuate that tradition. The reason I like to get the big game guys there into cooking is my kids were raised on, I can proudly say, a lot of organic meat. My kids have eaten stingray, alligator, elk, mule deer, whitetails. They've had a wide array and they've never known it. And I was fortunate this year. I had a really good year. I went to Texas and New York and New Jersey and shot a bunch of deer. And I've learned to season my own meat and make it to save money. So I processed. I made Italian sausage, hot dogs, burger, bologna, snack sticks. And my kids were raised on venison hot dogs. And they're like, Dad, and I get it made at another place up here, but that's the only thing I don't make myself. But I pride myself on my kids eating basically unintentionally organic. We've all had steak, and steak's wonderful, but the fact that they don't have a lot of those hormones or anything else, I kind of pride myself on being able to produce that.
Yeah.
And my kids they don't know any different, and they love it. So I think that's important to the whole thing. I just don't. When I did go to Africa, and that's a trophy hunt, but I got to eat what I was able to eat over there. You can't bring it back, and that meat was phenomenal. It was awesome. We've had all kind of. I could tell you some things, but that's the only time I really went somewhere and I couldn't bring the meat back, but I was able to eat it while I was there.
Yeah.
And that was interesting. And that's a whole conservation we got into some discussions on my social media about that. People don't understand that that's a different continent. It is about conservation. It is about giving back to financially to people over there, and it helps a larger group ever in Africa than it does over here in the United States, to be
Yeah.
honest. But
Well, I mean, it sounds like that our I guess ideals or philosophical backgrounds are very similar in that regards. And man, I'm really excited to hear about all the things you got going on for the show this year. Excited about going back to the old venue and just seeing this thing explode and expand. And I'm just hoping we can be a small part of that. Our company, United Country Virginia Realty, we are certainly going to be there. We're been there ever since I've been associated with the company. We've been there every year. So I look forward to it. Made some friendships over the years from the other vendors. You get to know them, you get to see them year in and year out, and it's a great relationship. So I'm excited all the way around, and man, I just don't know what else to say about it. We just want to help promote you.
well, we appreciate that because without vendors like yourself, and like we've talked about this before you recorded, we both of us sell relationships, and then the proprietary. The next thing is the show or the land. And if you don't have those, and with vendors like you know, to continually supporting us, we don't have an event. So you guys are just as important as me at the end of the day when it comes down to this. And you guys having a good product, and I'm being able to showcase that at my event makes me look good as well. So if I bring a high quality product, I think that in turn shows a high quality show. So I want to thank you and everybody else who supports that. It's big. Like I said, without you guys, I love you guys. We're your region or your local there, and that's important to an event like mine as well. So I want to thank you.
No, our pleasure. I mean, August sounds like it's a long ways away, but I mean, really, it's going to be a blink of an eye and it's going to be here. So everybody mark your calendars, August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, for the Virginia Outdoor Sportsman Show. And again, we will include the links in the podcast on the YouTube channel, the Facebook page, and all that stuff. So everybody keep an eye. This is going to be an amazing show this year. So everybody, please come out there. You'll see Frank walking around. You'll see us out there. Stop and chit chat with us. Say hey. Bring your friends. Tell everybody about it. And man, that's about all I got, Frank. Unless you got anything else you want to add.
No, man, you've covered it. Just come visit our website, sportsmanshow.com, Richmond Raceway Complex, August 1st, 2nd, 3rd. We're all good to go. Those are the big highlights, my friend.
Awesome. Thanks again, Frank. I know it was short notice, but I really appreciate you jumping on with me this week. And I look forward to talking with you again soon.
Yes, sir, for sure.